welcome to the 24/7 Marriage Podcast Field Guide for Marriage. I did that because I didn't say the A. Hey, Pookie, how are you?
Good. Why do you have to say field like that? Like
A
you're
field.
you're angry at the word field.
What?
Field guide. It's like, whoa, what did field do to
The
you?
24/7 Marriage Podcast, a field guide for marriage.
No, no, no,
All right.
no, we're not gonna do that.
How was your birthday?
It was great.
It was incredible.
Yeah, I'm 52.
How'd you come up with that, Shannon? Is it the same age I am?
No, it's that you'll
No.
be 53 in January, so therefore I'm turning
So I'm going to go
52.
backwards. Go back to the last podcast and you'll hear us discussing that important subject about how she comes about that.
I don't feel 52.
Yeah,
I certainly hope I don't look
you
52.
do not look 52. That is the right thing. Nate, does she look
Um,
52? Nate says
One
no.
of the greatest compliments I get lately is if we have Phoenix out by ourselves.
Oh, it's happened to both of us. It's
Yeah,
happened.
and it's
It just
like
happened
in
at
Costco,
Costco.
and they're like, "Oh, you cute little mama," or somebody will say
Yeah.
something, and I'll be
What a
like,
fun season
"Are
as a
they?"
mom.
Yeah, and I was like, "Are they talking to me, or is there somebody behind me?" And I'm like, "Oh, she's talking to me," and I'm like, "Oh, that makes me
Okay, we're
feel
not
so
saying
good."
this to like elevator, so but just it's happened a couple of times. They've done it to me too. It's like, oh, how
Okay,
sweet. How young's
I
your boy? Like, oh, I'm actually the granddad. Like,
I
no.
love you, but the gray beard definitely would give me like,
Not necessarily because there's a lot of people who are younger and have a lot of gray in their hair and their beards
you had a
nowadays.
son in your late 40s. Yeah,
I
coulda.
mean, people have kids late
Yeah,
nowadays, so I
no.
mean it's possible. But I take it as a compliment if they think both you and I like are young enough to have a young kid.
Yes, when I get called mama, I'm like, "Oh my gosh, you just made my day."
Yeah, yeah, and
Yeah.
it's fun. So now
So,
we're getting here in the
McKenna and I, we just went through the airport, and I have pre-check on my
yeah.
boarding pass. So, I made the mistake of going through pre-check and then waiting for McKenna to get through regular, TSA, and she got held up because McKenna decided to wear overalls, which the whole entire thing, like, beeped, and then she's got a baby and a stroller and all this stuff. So, I actually went there, and they were like, "Are you Shannon?" And I go, "Yeah." I go, I'm McKenna's mom. Um, she needs help. You want me to grab the baby?" And the TSA agent, he said, "Oh my gosh." He goes, "I thought you guys were sisters." I was like, "What?"
Was the TSA agent that was walking with a blind stick? That guy? I'm kidding. You do. You look, honey. You look. You do. You do. You look young. We both look so young. Not 30, but not young enough to have a 18-month-old, whatever he
Well,
is.
the fact that people think we do,
I
I'm
know.
just like, I'm gonna take it.
I know.
There'll be a day where
Yeah.
people will not accuse me of being a young
Yeah.
mom.
Yeah. Also, we wrapped up a boot camp. We talked about it last time, but we wrapped up our last boot camp of the year in Cambria, which was incredible. Always incredible on the coast because it's
It's my favorite place to be.
yeah. So it's a great spot, and so December is kind of our month to breathe a little bit. We had back to back to back to back events, so it's
So I
our
think
month
it's
to
that one
breathe.
city that people don't know, like you're not familiar with it when you hear
Yeah.
like Phoenix or somewhere in Texas and things like that. So it is definitely a spot on the coast of California people aren't familiar with, but every time a couple that are new to that area, they flew in from somewhere to a boot camp, they're like, "This is amazing." And I was like, "Yeah, that's why we do 2 boot camps here a year
And why
cuz
every year we say we're not doing it here again because it's the smallest space we use. It's
it
very
is the
small.
smallest
It's
venue."
very intimate and it's just different. It's still like a living room setting, but it's just
I
different. But
know.
we say every time, like, oh my gosh, but then we're like, oh, we're gonna come back because
I
it's like
think it
it's
also holds
perfect.
sentimental values. I mean, 6 years ago, in 2018, almost 6
We've
or
been going
7?
there for 22 years, and
No, no, no,
we
no.
started
In
going there.
2018, we did our first boot
Yeah,
camp
the first
there.
boot camp. Yeah,
And
bless you,
so
Nate.
it holds like sentimental value
Yeah,
of like, this is where it started, where we begged our friends to come and like, let us try
I
this
know it's
thing out.
crazy. It's
And
crazy.
now we're at 26 boot camps
Yeah,
under our belt.
yeah.
So,
So I think something that we have learned over our 32 years of marriage, we have been through our fair share of struggles and difficulties, um, and different
if you
seasons
were
of
to put a percentage on
uh,
how many struggles you contributed to our marriage, what
90%, probably.
So do my
I would
ten
say early on it was you. So that 5% is our first 5 years.
so no,
So
if it's
the
90,
other
10,
95 is
10% was
me.
mine the first 5 years and the rest
No, I would say
90%.
95 me, 5% you.
Wow.
Well, I take up the most space in this marriage. Like I am not needy, but and partly is because of how I'm wired. Like I say everything, I speak everything, I invite you into everything. Last night you did. You shared with me some stuff that was very personal
I was wondering if
you
that
were
was
s-
gonna come
that
up
you were
while we
struggling
recorded
with.
today. Can I
Um,
share an unmet expectation I had about that interaction?
what? I sat there and listened to you.
I know, I think I was expecting more, like, for you to put your plate down and, like, for you to grab me and hold me, and you just grabbed my hand and you're like, "What can I do for you?" And I was
And
like,
was rubbing your shoulder and brought you in, but we were sitting in different chairs with food in our lap,
I
so
know you have no
I
idea how much
apologize.
I don't think you know to the extent of how much I cried.
I apologize that I didn't stand up
That's
and
okay.
hug
That
you
was
awkwardly
that
while you sat in the chair. Do you want me to do it right now?
no. Um, I I had a whole meltdown, putting my book into book format for it to be published, and I read that whole first chapter of Confessions of a Terrible Wife, and reading about how you brought dinner home from Coco's one night, and I threw that whole salad away because you forgot my dressing at the restaurant,
Yeah. All
and
right.
I just started bawling, and I was like, "Who do I think I was? Like, how who what kind of pompous attitude did I
Yeah.
have back then to treat you that way, to act that way?" I was just completely overwhelmed, and then I was listening to the '80s channel on Pandora, and a song from the '80s came on,
Oh my
and
gosh,
then
you
I
have a
was thinking
moment.
about this little girl who was just in her bedroom, like, dancing, having fun, drawing pictures, and I was like, "She didn't get so much from her parents." Like, there was so much that that little girl needed, and I said that I thought that I felt last night, that I could have been so much more. I
And I
could
agree
have
with you. I'm kidding.
exactly.
I didn't agree with you.
And I
No,
said that there was so much she needed from them
yeah,
and that they didn't give me, and
yeah,
I was sad for that little girl.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And so we've been through like that attributes to our first, 5 years, and we've been through losses, miscarriages. We've been through the loss of a crazy season or episode of like losing a home.
Lost a church.
Like we merged a church and that and didn't end well. We've had plenty when it comes to finances. We've had nothing. People supporting us when we had to leave that and start over. Like we've had these. Just we can go on and on about the different seasons of marriage, and I always use seasons. And then people say, "Oh, it's a Christian phrase. It's overused." Like, nah, I don't think it's overused because it's just so true to
What
the
the
fact that
season what phrase is overused?
seasons. Oh, what you're in this season, like, but
Oh,
it's just so true. Like
yeah.
we have the season, the spring, and we have the summers, and we have the harvesting, and we have the winter where it's cold. Like we have
But
these moments, and it's always like we get through one, and there's going to be another,
yeah, some
and we get
seasons last
through.
longer than other
Yeah, for sure.
seasons.
And we get through one struggle and there's going to be another. We get through something and we learn, hopefully, and grow. And then we get hit with something else. Like we've learned through our 32 years of marriage and our 52 years of marriage, since we're the same age, that it is, we're always going to be hitting different,
Yeah.
like just when we think we're doing good, like something hits. And
Yeah.
it's not that we start doing bad,
No.
but I think this is what I want to talk about today is like, how do you have an in between marriage? And what I mean by that is a marriage that what matters is what's happening in between those storms. Because here's the thing, it's like you don't rise to the level of your crisis. You fall to the level of your preparation. So it's not rising to the level of the crisis, you fall to the level of your preparation. And so what happens in the middle of those moments? In the midst of the storm, I think we have a decision to make. It's going to draw us closer together, which we've experienced that, or it actually can pull us apart. But I think if you're pulling apart or even drawing closer, it's it's dependent upon what you've done in between the storm. It's
Yeah.
what you've done in between those seasons to strengthen your marriage, to pursue
Yeah.
one another, to build communication, to strengthen this foundation of your marriage.
Yeah.
It's what you do in
Yeah.
between that enables you to walk and carry through the storms and struggles, difficulties that will happen.
Yeah.
Not
Not
may,
if, they
but
will.
they will
And talk
happen.
to anybody who lives in Florida.
Yeah,
Talk to anybody
yeah,
who lives in Florida. There are just things that you are going to purchase and that you're going to do. You're going to have things to batten down all of your windows,
yeah.
your exteriors. You have safe rooms that you go to for shelter. You have go bags.
Yeah,
You have extra food. You have
yeah.
extra supplies. They are so prepared for a
And the
hurricane.
ones that aren't, what happens? Like, get caught off guard, like, they lose
They
stuff,
lose
they
a
don't have
home.
food
They
or
lose a
water,
car. Yeah.
and sometimes you as much as you prepare, it still hits really hard.
Yes, but
Like,
we're
we get
talking
that.
about what it means to prepare, and I think that with in marriage, um, it's kinda and I'll ask you this, like, okay, so crisis is gonna come to my marriage. Javi, I don't even how would I even prepare for that? What does that look like?
I think part of the problem is a lot of couples, right, they start praying, start communicating well, start fighting for their marriage when it hits.
Mm.
Oh, we gotta start doing that. Oh, we gotta go like, how many times have we done it? Like, "Oh, I guess I gotta pray." Like, shouldn't that be our first response? Like
Well,
like
I just saw a reel of a girl. She said, "My everything has come crashing down around me in my life, and my only choice now is to totally trust God." And I'm like, well, I'm
that's
so
the
sorry that it's come to that,
I
but
I
I'm like,
I get it.
wouldn't that be
Well,
your
I get it in our humanity, like, we forget God's past faithfulness.
Yeah,
We forget very quickly. I mean, there's stuff I pray for and I see the answer, and there's times I forget to pause and say, "God, thank you." Like, that was because of you. Like, I prayed and, like, "Thank you."
yeah,
And the timing of it may have been later because I always want it sooner, but it could have
yeah,
been later, and we forget. And, like, I think that's a big thing is, like, um remembering what God has done, that even
yeah,
strengthens you knowing that he'll do it again, he'll carry you through whatever is next.
yeah,
And but I think that's the problem is like we get into it when it happens.
yeah, but I
We
also
start digging deeper, like I
yeah.
need to draw closer to you when we are in the place of like, oh, okay, now I have to. It's like that should be our first thing that we do.
But we have a toddler mentality where I could do it by myself.
Sure.
We literally have that attitude of like, no, I'll figure out the answer. I'll solve this right now. And it's like our dependency on God is almost like it's like not even second nature. It's just
Yeah.
like it's so far down the road removed that we're like, "Oh, it's come to this." Like
Yeah.
we're out of options. I can't see our way
Yeah.
out of this. Guess I'm going to have to trust God with this. It's
Yeah.
like, "Well, why weren't we
Yeah.
trusting God with our marriage in the first
And that's
place?"
building, like, we have to be building, we're gonna talk about that, like, building our intimacy, our walk with Christ, like, in the in between. And I get it. We do it in our humanity. We go to God in those moments, like, God, I'm desperate for you, but we
Yes,
need to be desperate
I
for
do it.
Jesus, period.
Yeah.
Period. Not because of what we need or what he's not our vending machine to get what we want when we need it. So your marriage is either built or neglected in the in between. Like those are the choices, right? And the in between is the ordinary, the unseen. It's the chaos. It's all the stuff that happens in the middle. But that's in that in between is where you're either cultivating connection with one another or you're creating deeper fissures within your marriage.
Yeah.
And I think the in between defines you. Like that really, really, really defines you. It's where you pray together. It's how you keep showing up for one another. And so I think you grow stronger through difficult seasons or through storms and struggles. I
Mhm.
think you do. But I don't think it's built in the storm. I think it's revealed. Like the strength of your marriage is often revealed in the middle of a storm. It can be strengthened,
Yeah.
absolutely, and hopefully you continue that strength in the in between seasons. But I think the strength of your marriage is revealed when a struggle or a difficulty
Oh,
or a hard
100%.
season actually hits. Because I think what you practice in the seasons of peace, what you practice in the in between moments, um, is what you'll perform in pressure. It's how you perform in
Yeah.
pressure by what you practice, like an athlete who practices in between
Yeah.
the races, so that under pressure, they can actually run
Perform.
and perform well under pressure. But you don't do that if you don't practice.
I feel for us personally, um, the times that we've had the most pressure put on our marriage have strengthened me personally. Have That's a reassurance of, for me, I mean, we're at 33 years. So, um when we face a hard time, I I don't I don't worry. Are we going to make it? Could this be the end of our marriage? Like, those thoughts never come in my
I've
mind
never had those
because
thoughts.
of
Yeah.
past crises that we've been through, how we have shown up for each other, how we've prayed together, how you've
Yeah.
reassured me,
Yeah.
Shannon, we're going to get through this. We're going to be okay.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
Yeah.
okay. So for me, our past struggles are just a reminder of how faithful God is and how good he is.
But in the middle of it, sometimes it's hard to remember that. Like,
Yeah.
'cause we're like, we wonder, like, will this end?
Mm,
Like, how do like, our
yeah.
season when I went through depression, like, will this end? Will this be the story of the rest of our
I
marriage? Like,
didn't know
we
that
didn't know.
because it's not promised to me. God didn't say, Shannon, I promise you
Yeah.
that you will be happy and that Javi will get over
Yeah.
depression. He didn't promise that to me.
But you're able to go through that because of what we've experienced before that.
Yeah. And I was able to remember my duty and my calling that God
Duty.
called me
Yes.
into, and that was to love you sacrificially.
Yeah.
So, and to serve you. So, regardless of whether or not your depression ever went away or got better, that didn't change
Yeah.
what God asked me to do.
Yeah.
Was it easy? No,
No.
but who signed up for, if you signed up for marriage because you thought it was going to be easy,
Yeah.
you should have really thought before you
Yeah.
walked down the aisle.
And I wanna
But
retract what I said before,
what are you
like,
retracting?
well, the other moments where I questioned if we'd be okay if we make it. In our first 5 years, I did question that.
Oh,
But
I didn't
now
not because I
but
wasn't thinking at all.
but now this is true. But now looking back, you recognize that is because, like, in facing stuff that we do now is because of all those moments of seeing God's faithfulness, but also of preparing in the in between and making a decision like, no, no, this is going to be hard. It's going to be difficult, but like, it's not an option that we're not going to be okay on the other side or that we're not going to get through it together. That's not an
Were
option.
there
Like, we're
moments
going to
where you
be,
thought, like, you would have to divorce me or
no, 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 no. I
what
just,
did you
if this is what it's gonna be, then that I mean, that's I said yes. I said I do, and it wasn't to that everything is up and to the right.
Mm.
Like I made a covenant, and so I'm gonna. But I also knew that like God had it, and He would do the work that He needs to do. So and He did, and
Yeah,
He's still doing it in
yeah,
both of us. I mean, in
yeah,
both of us. Um, so I think like there's daily habits, right, that we need to build
yeah.
in those in between moments, and constantly talk about on the podcast of right forgiveness and grace and um, uh, like just the intentionality, prayer. These are the things that build the spiritual resilience that enables you to have that marital resilience and strength. And it doesn't mean that you're not going to have moments of contention in the middle of a storm or a struggle or that you're gonna be frustrated. You're gonna have it. It's gonna have it.
Yeah,
And um, like, but the thing is, like, how do you build now the intimacy, the connection, the growth with one another
yeah.
that continues? I think everything we talk about kind of leads to that, like build that foundation, and from there, when it does, like you're anchored, right? You know, the wise man built his house upon the
Rock.
right? And the
Yeah.
foolish man built his house upon the sand. And so, where are you building? What are you building upon? And who, right? And that who's going to be, hopefully, is going to be
I
Jesus.
also think that we don't live in this place of remembering that nothing's promised to us, not tomorrow.
Yeah.
And I think one of the hardest things to watch is a video of somebody who just lost a spouse, and they were like, I didn't we he left that morning and we had a rough morning and we were angry at each other and now he's gone. Or we've been in this really bad season and now like they feel like it's left
Yeah.
undone. Like they're left with these undone wounds
Yeah.
because they didn't live the in between
Yeah.
well. Or
Yeah.
they didn't prepare for the in between. And I like to live in a place of nothing's promised, and what if this is our last day together? So, How do I treat you? How do I act? How do I love you? How do I serve you every day? Because
Not always
nothing.
well, because I don't always do it well.
No, no,
I mean,
and I don't. But my goal is to always live from that place.
yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's a little bit of a rabbit trail, but you're right. It's like this. We don't understand the brevity of life. We don't understand that the most important day of your marriage is the last day of your marriage, and that could be today. It could be tomorrow. And how are you living? How are you showing up? I mean, I don't. I when we see when have sat with many people who have taken their last breath, and no one ever said, "Hey, give me my cell phone. I want to see if someone liked that post one last time. I want to scroll through Instagram one." Like no one said, man, I I wish we had more fights in our marriage, or I wish I had more money. They're just saying like, I wish I didn't blow up my marriage. I wish I had been there for my kids. I wish I didn't work as much. Whatever it
Yeah.
is, like there's things they desire to do differently, and we don't. And I think that's the strength of the marriage. Like, what do you do in the in between? Because I think what happens in the in between is the enemy will still come in, and the enemy will begin to whisper like, "Oh, you're fine. You don't need to have that conversation now. You don't need to have that talk now." Like, you see, they don't love you. Like, you're too busy. Like, don't deal with that now. All that happens in the in between, so that when something hits, um, all that you haven't dealt with is compounded and added, and now it grows and grows and grows and grows and grows. And so that's why I think the enemy loves a busy marriage,
Mhm.
a disconnected marriage, or a marriage that's not intentional. And I have seen couples who haven't been doing well, then they hit a crisis. We just had a couple at a boot camp. They're doing okay. They're doing okay in their marriage. They had come to a second boot camp now. And about a week and a half before this boot camp, he lost his 21-year-old son in a car accident. And he shows up at boot camp. This is crazy, Nate. Like, he shows up at a boot camp, and like, and it actually like has knit them closer together, even though it
Yeah.
was it their marriage wasn't bad, but they were working on
He
things.
said
So I
that
think it
he saw things in her that, he saw a gifting in her of love and sacrifice in the way that she showed up to serve him in his
yeah,
darkest hour,
yeah,
um, was so
yeah,
beautiful the
yeah.
way that
When
that
and I
Mike
think
shared
she was
it.
able to show up, and he said he's able to show up because it wasn't they weren't perfect, but they were
No.
committed
Yeah.
in their covenant. They were fighting for one another.
Mm.
There was a decision made that this, and they were already working on some stuff like spiritual growth, right? He was leading a men's group at church we had never done before, and she
Yeah.
was like, "I never thought he would ever do anything like that."
Everything. Yeah.
Like, he had stepped up.
Yeah.
And that actually is true. Like, he had stepped up in all these areas in
Yeah.
between both boot camps, so that when his son died, her son, like it actually now was knitting them closer together.
Yeah.
And part of what I told him was like, now how do you continue that? So I think that's the other
Yeah.
part is like, it's great. So you're working on the in between. You go through that difficult. How do you continue that? That you don't just
Yeah.
show up strong for one another in the middle of a storm or a struggle, and then you forget. You need to continue doing that on the other side of
Yeah.
it.
I
Like,
love all our
continue.
boot camp couples, but Mike and Mandy, I am
We love you
so
guys. Yeah.
excited because God is gonna use them in such a radical way where they live, and I'm just so excited that I get a front row seat to see what happens and how
Yeah.
it unfolds because,
Yeah.
every couple that came to 2.0, they have beautiful,
Yeah.
amazing, torn-ridden testimonies,
Yeah.
but they're still beautiful because they're
Oh, you say
sacred.
torn what?
Torn,
Uh-huh.
riddled.
Oh, riddled.
Yeah,
Okay. I thought you said written. I don't know.
no.
I hear what I wanna hear.
Um,
It's my spiritual
like,
gift.
our testimonies are full of, like, holes, and they're torn
Yeah,
up,
yeah.
and they're tattered and
Yeah.
stuff, but,
Not chapters we wanna write, but they are part of, like,
yeah,
you
and,
know?
like, with Mike and Mandy, that's a chapter they never want you wouldn't write.
Yeah.
When you say for better or for worse at the altar,
Yeah.
that you would bury a child,
Yeah.
no. But it's sacred because it's part of our story,
Yeah.
and what makes our story beautiful
Yeah.
is that God redeems everything, and
Yeah.
he uses it,
Yeah.
um, and I just think that that's a reminder of me, like, every time we get to stand on stage at a church, teach a workshop, or host a marriage boot camp, that's just a reminder of God being like, "What we went through the first 5 years, this is how he's redeeming it."
Yeah.
is just by us being
And a reminder
transparent.
how God uses you and that little girl dancing to 80s music in her bedroom who wanted to be seen and
I still feel
didn't
like I
know.
could have been more.
But here you are, God using you, and you are more.
Yeah, thank you,
Yeah.
honey.
So how do you build an in-between marriage? Like in our last few minutes
Yeah.
here, like um 100%, like stay connected to God first and foremost. Your personal walk with God, your intimacy with Him. You can't pour out what you don't have. I mean,
Ooh,
simply, right?
yeah.
You just can't. And so it all starts there. It overflows from there. Pursue daily deposits.
Yeah.
What we say, if you don't make deposits, you can make no withdrawals.
Yeah.
And so that's prayer. It's a hug. It's like I love you. It's engaging. It's daily depositing into one another, into your marriage, and daily investing. Um, and use what has been given you and remember what he's done. Like use what he's given you and remember what he's done. Solidifies you in those moments, in those seasons. What did God already do and give you that you haven't used yet? Right. In that last difficult season that you got out of it and you're like, you forgot sometimes
Yeah.
of how he carried you through that. Like use that, what he's done.
Well, the whole
Like
book of
use that.
Numbers. Hello. They're wandering around complaining.
Yeah.
It's like,
Did you
did you
not
just
just
not
see
pay
what
attention to what he just did for
to
you?
what just
He just
happened?
fully
Yeah.
delivered you guys. We're like, we have no food, we have
Yeah.
no shelter. Let's just go
Yeah.
back to being slaves.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
yeah,
I wrote this down that your marriage doesn't need a new miracle today. It needs you to remember what God has already taught you and what he has done and to live it out with courage.
yeah,
Like what he's already done, what he's already taught you, how he's already led you. The other thing too is like date with intention, not just a date, right, with your spouse,
yeah,
but to build connection, to build laughter and joy. Like
yeah.
you want, I mean, what having those moments of just enjoying one another, going on a date and just building connection and doing stuff together and enjoying each other. Like in those moments, then you're reminded of that. You're like, oh, like we're gonna get through
I wonder
this.
how
Like
many spouses like really enjoy like do you just have fun like if you guys are out at like a fast food restaurant, can you just have fun like laughing at stupid silly stuff together? Like
yeah.
do you just enjoy
I need to work on that too, because
your
sometimes I get too
spouse?
much in my head about all kinds of things that I don't. I mean, not that I don't enjoy. I'm saying
No.
like
But you
just to
but
have
just
fun.
in the just in the very simple moments of us just hanging out, whether it's for a meal or whatever it is, like I just enjoy being with you because I like hanging out with you.
Yeah,
Like I find you fun,
yeah.
I find you provocative, I find you
Provocative.
um
Wow.
you challenge me in my thinking because we think very differently. Not just male female, but like I said, I described you in the car to Nate. I said Javier literally believes the best in everybody and I literally
100%.
believe the worst in everybody.
Just know that everybody, like if you want to be loved and heard, come to me.
Wow.
I see you.
Yeah, so
I see you.
you challenge me in that you sharpen me, you make me think.
Yeah.
I hope I do the same
Yeah.
for you.
No, you do. You do. No, you stretch me. That is for sure. You stretch me in a good way. In a good way. I can't elaborate on that. We got time and Nate's looking at me. So, like be each other's safe place also.
Yeah.
Um, like like especially for you men, like you need to be a place that is safe for your wife to go to and be vulnerable in those moments. Like you need to have enough love for your wife, for your spouse where you cover her faults, you cover her humanity, and you cover her history. That the way you love your spouse in these in between seasons, that you get
That's a clip right
you
there.
cover your wife's history. You love her and you cover her humanity, and you're a safe place for her to come to, a safe place for her to land and to have those conversations and to unpack. And so that when you're in the middle of something, who does she want to go to? Who does he want to go to? You want to go to your spouse to be able to have these conversations and know that you're going to listen, hear, and lean into one another. So if a storm hit you guys tomorrow, what would you do?
Mm,
How would you weather it?
that's good.
What would it look like? What would be the result on the other side of that difficulty or that struggle? Could you weather it? And what habits do you need to build now in between that ensure that you are as strong as you're navigating through it? Again, not perfect. You're going to get hit. Things are going to get knocked over. You're going to get blown by the wind. You're going to fall over. You're going to get back up. But on the other side of it, you're going to be like, holy crap, that was a ride. That was incredible. And I can say that we have experienced that through every season of our marriage where sometimes in the middle of like, I don't know how we're gonna get through it.
Yeah.
We're gonna get through it together, but I don't
Yeah.
know what this looks like, and I'm scared. And as a husband, I don't know what's next, and I don't know. This is hard for me.
Yeah.
So, what do you need to start doing today? So when it hits and everything else around you is crumbling, your marriage stands.
So good.
Like, I think that's the
So
important
good.
thing that you need to be
Yeah.
able to do. And so, live an in-between marriage. I always feel we can go on and on and on and on and on about all these
Do you,
topics.
hubby?
So
Could you talk forever?
I can talk forever,
Nobody would have ever
100%.
guessed that.
So, hey, thank you for leaning in, for listening in. If there's stuff you want us to talk about more, DM us, message us. We want to dive into things and unpack them even more if we can. But
Yeah.
make sure you subscribe.
You like and
You like,
subscribe, hit the little
subscribe.
bell so you get
Ding, ding.
notified every time a new podcast comes
Yeah,
out.
and go on the website, get resources, get plugged in. We love each and every one of you. And always remember, in marriage, you don't have to.
You get
Have
to.
an incredible week.